Jack Marlowe sat alone in the observation room of Deep Listening Post 47. The station floated at the far edge of human space, far from Earth and the busy trade routes. Outside the window, only stars filled the darkness. Some blinked faintly. Others burned cold and silent. There were no planets nearby, no ships, just endless space. Jack had been stationed here for 3 months. His job was to listen for any unknown signals from space. Earth Command believed there could still be something out there, something alien. But so far, nothing had come. It's just silence. He sipped cold coffee and stared at the blinking screen. Every beat meant static. Every day was the same. Jack had always liked peace and quiet, but this was too quiet. I told the stars I was lonely, he whispered to himself. His fingers moved across the control panel. For fun, he opened the main broadcast channel, something no one ever used. He smiled a little and pressed the mic button. "This is Jack Marlowe," he said with a calm voice, trying not to sound bored. "If anyone's out there, I'm just saying hi. It's quiet out here. A little too quiet, maybe. Just me and the machines. So, yeah, I guess I'm lonely." He ended the message and leaned back. The station's lights hummed softly. No reply came. He hadn't expected one. "Talking to the stars," he muttered. Crazy. A few days passed. Jack kept doing his job, checking systems, scanning for signals, fixing wires. Everything was normal. Still quiet. Still alone. Then, something changed. It was late. Jack was about to sleep when the main screen flashed red. Incoming signal. Unknown source. His eyes widened. He rushed to the console and opened the message. There were no radio waves. No code. Just a deep, soft voice speaking directly into the station's systems. "I heard you, little human," it said. "I'm coming." Jack froze. "What the hell?" he whispered. He played the message again. Same voice. Calm, ancient, and definitely not human. He checked the source. The signal didn't come from any known point. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. "Maybe a prank," he said aloud. "Or maybe I've been here too long." Still, the station systems didn't lie. A ship was approaching. Fast. Jack checked the sensors. There was no engine trail. No heat. Just a shadow moving through space, bending light as it came. Within minutes, the object came into view. Jack's jaw dropped. The ship wasn't like anything he'd seen before. Looked like black crystal, floating silently in the dark. It had sharp edges, like a sword built from glass. Purple lights glowed from inside, like blood moving through veins. "No way," he said. "That can't be real." The ship stopped just outside the station. No weapons fired.
Ow.
No threats. Just silence. Then a light blinked. A message appeared on his screen. "Docking requested." Jack hesitated. He could call Earth Command, but it would take hours to get a reply, and he wasn't sure this ship would wait. Heart pounding, he granted the request. The alien ship connected. To the station slowly. There was no sound, no shaking, just a soft click as the airlock connected. Jack stood by the inner door. He wore a basic suit just in case. His hand hovered near the emergency alarm. The outer door opened. A figure stepped inside. She was tall and pale, dressed in black armor that shimmered like stars. Her hair was long, silver, and flowed as if caught in space wind. Her eyes glowed red, not with anger but with power. Her skin looked like marble, smooth and cold. Jack took a step back. "Are you alien?" he asked. The woman tilted her head and smiled. "I am Queen Valara of House Nyx," she said in perfect English. "Once ruler of the 13 star thrones." "You called me." Jack blinked. "I what?" "You said you were lonely," she continued. "So I came." "So that was just me talking to space," he said, confused. "And I was listening," she said. "You sent out a heart signal, a cry. Most would not hear it." "But I am not most." Jack tried to think clearly. "Why me?" Valara stepped closer. "Because your voice reached deeper than others. It was honest. Soft. I've been asleep. A long time human. and your voice stirred me." She looked around the station with calm eyes. "This place is small, cold. You are alone, but no more." "What do you want?" Jack asked. She smiled again, and her red eyes sparkled. "You. Human," she said. "You're mine now." Jack backed away. "Hold on, I do not mean harm," she said gently. "You spoke to the stars. I am one of the old ones. I have come to answer." Silence filled the room. Jack didn't know what to say. A vampire. Queen and alien from some ancient empire had heard his message, and now she stood in front of him, alive, real, powerful, and very, very serious. Jack Marlowe stared at the tall woman in front of him. Her glowing red eyes watched him with calm and interest. And she was not just any alien, she had called herself a queen. Not only that, a vampire queen. "I'm not sure what's happening." "Here," Jack said slowly, trying to stay calm. "You're from where?" Queen Valara stepped into the room, her boots making no sound on the metal floor. "I am from the lost empire of Nyx," she said. "Long ago, my people ruled star systems. But time passed. Wars came, and we fell. I was placed in deep stasis, waiting for a voice that could wake me." Jack blinked, and that voice was mine. Valara smiled. "Yes. Your message traveled far. It touched something deep inside me. It wasn't a signal of war or greed. It was simple, human, honest. You were lonely. And I understood." Jack scratched his head, still trying to believe all this was real. "Well," he said with a small laugh, "you got me. I guess I wasn't expecting someone like you to show up. You expected nothing. That is what made it pure." She walked around the room, examining the blinking lights and wires. Her black armor moved like liquid, but there was no sound. Jack kept his distance. She didn't seem dangerous, but she wasn't human. He had no idea what she could do. "So what now?" he asked. "You said I'm yours. What does that mean?" Valara turned to him. "It means I choose you. Not as a slave, not as food, as companion. In my time, we ruled through strength, but now I seek connection. You spoke to the stars, and the stars answered with me." Jack laughed nervously.
Ow.
"I've never had a space vampire queen as a friend before." Valara tilted her head. "Friend. An interesting word. I like it." Suddenly, a new voice spoke from Jack's console. It was robotic and smooth. "Unknown vessel detected. Human command fleet on approach. 5 warships incoming?" Jack's eyes widened. "They must have tracked your ship. Earth thinks you're a threat." "I am a mystery to them," Valara said calmly. "Humans fear what they do not understand." Jack ran to the control panel and opened a channel to Earth Command. The screen blinked but showed nothing. A message appeared. "Stand by." "Earth's command and control, they've locked me out," Jack said. "They don't trust me. They will act with fear," Valara said. "They will shoot." "Wait," Jack said. "Can't you talk to them?" "I could," she replied, "but my voice will not calm them. They will only see danger." Her eyes dimmed slightly. "I did not come to fight, but if they attack, I will not fall quietly." Jack looked at the ship outside. It hovered silently. In the dark, black crystal and glowing purple veins. To Earth's military, it probably looked like a weapon. "You have to let me go with you," Jack said. "If they attack you here, the station will be destroyed. I have no need to harm. This place," Valara said, "come. You are safer with me." She held out her hand. Jack looked at her pale fingers. Something inside him said no. Something louder said yes. He took her hand. The vampire queen led him through the station's airlock. On the other side, her ship opened like a blooming flower. Black walls moved silently. Inside, it was warm and dark, like night with stars. The door closed behind them. A soft light followed their steps as they walked. "This ship is alive," Jack whispered. "Yes," Valara said. "It is bonded to me. It hears my thoughts." In the center of the ship was a tall black chair, like a throne. Screens floated in the air. One showed the Earth fleet approaching. "They're charging weapons," Jack said. They'll fire any second. Valara looked at him. Then we must show them we are not enemies. She raised her hand. A shield appeared around the ship, like a glass bubble. Outside, the Earth ships opened fire. Blasts of energy hit the shield but bounced away like rain. Jack gasped. Your ship? It didn't even move. It is strong, Valara said, but I will not strike unless you ask me to. Me? Jack asked. Yes, she said. You are my voice in this world. If you tell me to fight, I will, but I hope you do not. Jack thought fast. He opened the broadcast channel again and prayed someone would hear him. This is Jack Marlowe, he said. To Earth Command, stop firing. The alien ship is not attacking. She saved me. She is not the enemy. The screen blinked. For a moment, silence, then a voice answered. Jack, this is Commander Rios. Are you safe? Yes, Jack said. She answered my call. She came because I was lonely, not because she wanted war. The commander paused. Stand by. Ceasefire. The weapons stopped. Valara turned to Jack. You spoke. They listened. That is power. Jack smiled a little. Guess I'm more important than I thought. You are more than important. She said, you are the first human to speak with truth across the stars, and now your path is joined with mine. Jack looked out at the Earth ships, still floating, unsure what to do next. He had spoken to the stars. And now the stars had spoken back with the Queen of the Dark. And maybe, just maybe, this was only the beginning. The Earth fleet remained still in space. 5 warships floated like metal giants, each one watching the alien vessel closely. Inside Valara's black crystal ship, Jack Marlowe stood beside the Vampire Queen, unsure of what would happen next. Told them you're not here to fight, Jack said, his voice calm but tense. I don't know if they believe me yet. Valara's red eyes glowed softly. You showed courage. That will help. But fear is loud in their hearts. Jack walked to one of the floating screens. It showed the warships locking weapons again. Stopped firing, Jack said, but they haven't powered down. Someone panics, they might attack again. Valara nodded. Then we wait. But if they strike again, I will protect us. Jack looked at her. No killing. Valara raised an eyebrow. You ask much of me, human. My ship is not made to lose. Jack gave a small smile. I know. But if you destroy their ships, everything I said will mean nothing. Earth will send more, bigger fleets. They'll see. You as a threat forever, the Vampire Queen thought for a moment. Then she spoke slowly. Very well. For you, I will hold back my full strength. But if they board this ship, I cannot promise mercy. Fair enough, Jack said. Suddenly the main screen blinked. A new message appeared. Prepare for inspection. A boarding team is coming. Jack's heart skipped. They're sending soldiers. Valara's voice grew cold. So they send blades to judge a gift? It's not an attack, Jack said quickly. It's a test. They want to see you, up close, maybe understand you. I am not here to be judged like an animal, Valara said sharply. Jack placed a hand on her arm. But this is the only way forward, trust me. She stared at his hand for a moment, then gave a slow nod. I will allow them to enter, but only into the outer chamber. Beyond that, they go no further. Deal. A few minutes later, a shuttle from the lead Earthship docked with Valara's vessel. Jack met them at the outer airlock, his heart pounding. The door opened with a hiss. 4 soldiers stepped inside. Their armor was gray, their faces serious. Behind them walked Commander Rios, tall, dark-skinned, and sharp-eyed. He had a small cum device on his shoulder and a pistol at his side. Jack, he said, good to see you alive. I told you, Jack replied. She's not here to harm us. Rios looked around. The ship was strange smooth walls, dark, light and silent hums. It felt alive. This place gives me the chills, one soldier whispered. Be respectful, Rios said. We are guests. Valara entered the chamber slowly. Her armor shimmered like stars. Her eyes glowed brighter than before. The soldiers raised their weapons without thinking. "Lower them," Rio said quickly. The queen stopped a few steps away. She looked at them calmly. "I am Queen Valara," she said. "You aim weapons at me. I aim only truth." Rios gave a short nod. "We don't mean disrespect. Earth must protect itself. You understand?" "I understand fear," she said, "but I am not fear." Jack stepped between them. "Look, she's not your enemy. She came because of my message. This isn't war, it's a meeting between stars." Rio studied her face. Then, surprisingly, he lowered his head slightly. "You could have destroyed our fleet, but you didn't. That shows something." "I honor Jack," Valara said. "He asked for peace, so I give it." "We'll report this to Earth Command," Rios said. "They'll want more talks. But if this is real peace, it must be built slowly." Valara nodded, then let it begin. Rios and the soldiers returned to their ship. The shuttle left. Quietly, Jack turned to Valara. "That went better than I expected." "For now," she said. Later, Jack and Valara stood at the observation window. Earth's ships were pulling back slightly, but they stayed nearby, watching. "They will never fully trust me," Valara said. "They might," Jack replied. "But it'll take time." Valara walked to her throne and sat. "You humans are strange. You fear the stars, yet you fly toward them. You are weak, yet you fight with spirit. That intrigues me." Jack smiled. "Well, we're full of surprises." "Indeed," she said. A floating screen blinked with a soft chime. A new signal had arrived, one that was not human. Valara stood quickly. Her face grew serious. Jack read the data. "It's not Earth," no, Valara said. "It's older and darker." She touched the screen. A strange symbol appeared, circles and sharp lines moving in a pattern. Jack felt a chill. "What is it?" Valara's voice dropped low. "The Voidborn, forgotten enemy. Long ago, they hunted my kind. They feed on stars, on minds, on life." Jack looked at the data again. "They're close," yes, she said. "Psst. And now, they've heard your voice too." Jack's throat tightened. "So my message didn't just wake you up. It woke others," Valara said. "And not all of them come in peace." The vampire queen turned to Jack, her eyes glowing once more, but this time with fire. "The war you wanted to avoid. This may come after all." Jack didn't answer. He had spoken to the stars from a place of loneliness. Now the stars had answered with friendship, with fear and with danger, and the real story had only just begun. Jack Marlowe stood near the center of Queen Valara's ship. The soft glow of purple lights moved across the black walls. Outside, the Earth fleet stayed in position, watching. But now Jack's attention was on something far worse. "The Voidborn?" he asked slowly. "What are they?" Valara's voice was quiet and heavy. "They are not flesh. They are not spirit. They are hunger given form." She turned to the screen, where strange signals pulsed like heartbeats in deep space. "They do not build," she said. "They do not speak. They consume. Light, matter, thought. They take all. They were the end of my people." Stared at the blinking symbols on the display. "Why now?" "Because your voice reached beyond time," Valara said. "It did not only reach MIT, touched the ancient dark. Now it awakens." A cold silence filled the room. Jack swallowed hard. "Then we need to stop them," Valara's read. Eyes focused on him. "They cannot be reasoned with. Do not want peace. They only end things." Jack felt his chest tighten. He had sent a simple message as words spoken in loneliness. Now those words had called something terrible. "What can we do?" he asked. Valara looked away. "There is one place where answers may wait. The last stronghold of House Nyx. My people's final stand." "Is it far?" "Yes," she said. "A dead world near a dying sun. One has visited it in over 1,000 years. But the knowledge left there may help us stop what comes." Jack nodded. "Then we go." Valara turned and gave a slight smile. "You are brave for a human." Jack smiled back. "You picked me, remember? The journey took hours." Valara's ship flew through folded space, moving faster than light without leaving a trail. Jack sat near the control ring, watching stars stretch like lines. What was your empire like? Jack asked. Valara sat beside him. Her voice softened. We ruled with elegance. Our minds were sharp, our ships fast. We drank from the energy of stars, but we grew proud.
What?
Too proud. She paused. When the Voidborn came, we were not ready. We fought them with power, not unity. One by one, our houses fell. Only a few of us lived, and I chose to sleep, waiting for a new light. Jack listened carefully. Was that cowardice? Lara looked at him, yes, but also hope. The ship slowed. Outside, a red sun flickered like a dying candle. A broken planet spun slowly, covered in black ruins. The last fortress of Nyx, Valara said. We buried our secrets here. They landed near a crumbled tower. The air was thin, but breathable. Jack followed Valara as she walked among broken statues and fallen stone. Black towers rose around them, sharp and ancient. Strange writings glowed on the walls, symbols Jack couldn't understand. This place is quiet, said. Too quiet, Valara whispered. Stay close. They entered a wide chamber. The center stood a tall black crystal, pulsing with soft red light. This is the memory core, Valara said. It holds the last thoughts of my people. She placed her hand on the crystal. Light spread across the room. Images formed in the air battles, cities, and finally, a swarm of black ships, like shadows moving through stars. Jack stared. Those are the Voidborn, yes, she said. They came like night. No warning, no sound, just death. One image showed a strange weapon, a golden spear surrounded by light. What's that? Jack asked. The Star Lance, Valara said. The only weapon that ever harmed them, but it was lost in battle. Can we build another? Valara shook her head. The plans are gone. Part of the core may still hold something useful. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the chamber. Valara turned sharply. Not alone. From the shadows, black shapes crawled across the walls like insects made of smoke. Jack stepped back. What are those echoes? Valara said. Shadows of the Voidborn, left behind when they destroyed this place? Shapes jumped forward. Valara raised her hand. A pulse of red light burst from her fingers, striking two of the shadows and turning them to ash. Jack pulled out a small defense pistol Earth Command had left him. He fired at the shapes. Energy bolts passed through them, doing little. Don't die easily, Jack shouted. No, Valara said. They must be burned by mind fire. She closed her eyes. The crystal behind her glowed brighter. Energy surged through her body, and her eyes burned like twin stars. More shadows came, but Valara stood tall. With a wave of her hand, a wall of red flame spread across the chamber. The shadows screamed as they vanished into dust. Silence returned. Jack looked at her, stunned. You saved us. Valara dropped to one knee. It cost much energy. Need time? Jack helped her up. Let's get back to the ship. But as they turned to leave, the memory core pulsed one last time. A new image appeared, coordinates, written in strange light. Valara narrowed her eyes. The location of the Star Lance. It wasn't lost. It was hidden. Jack smiled. Then we have a chance. Valara stood tall again. Yes. But we must. Move fast. The Voidborn are already on the way. As the ship lifted off from the broken world, Jack sat in silence. His message, once simple and small, had brought back a queen. It had awakened monsters. And now it had started a mission that might save them, allure, destroy everything. The ship moved fast through space, its engines glowing a soft violet light. Jack Marlowe sat in the command room beside Queen Valara, watching the stars stretch like lines as they sped toward their next destination. His mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. They had learned the Voidborn were on the move, and time was running out. But now, with the coordinates of the Star Lance in hand, there was hope, a weapon that could finally stop the Voidborn, if they could find it in time. Jack glanced at Valara. She was calm as always, her red eyes focused on the star map. Her black armor reflected the soft light of the control panels. "You're quiet," Jack said. "I am always quiet," she replied, her voice cool. "But you are different. You think about everything. You wonder how this will end." Jack chuckled. "Guess you could say I'm more human." "Indeed," she said. "But humans do not always wait for the end. You fight, I guess." "That's what makes us different from the Voidborn," Jack said. Thinking of the horrors they had seen in the memory core, Valara turned to him. "It is not enough to be different, Jack. You must be strong." He nodded, turning back to the star map. "We need to talk to Earth. If the Voidborn are coming, we can't face them alone." Valara's gaze hardened. "I do not trust Earth." Looked at her, surprised. "Why not? They're our best chance of surviving this." "Humans," Valara said, her voice low, "are not always quick to act. They are cautious, unsure. And when fear takes over, they are not your allies." Jack hesitated. She had a point. The Earth fleet was strong, but they weren't used to fighting enemies like the Voidborn. Still, Jack felt a sense of duty too. Reach out to Earth. This wasn't just about them anymore. "We need to try," Jack said. "You have to trust me." Valara said nothing at first, but her eyes softened. "Very well. You will speak for us." A few hours later, Jack opened a secure communication link to Earth Command. The screen flickered. Then a familiar face appeared. "Commander." "Rios, Jack," Rios said, his face tight with worry. "We've been tracking your ship. What's happening out there?" "Earth Command is getting reports of strange activity." Jack took a deep breath. "It's worse than we thought. Are real, and they're coming. We have the coordinates for a weapon, but we need your help. We can't do this alone." Rios blinked, the surprise evident on his face. "The Voidborn. That's impossible. We thought they were a myth." "I wish they were," Jack said. "But we're facing them right now. We have to act quickly. If we don't, they'll wipe us out. All of us." Rios hesitated, his eyes flickering to the side as if he was talking to someone off-screen. "All right, Jack. We'll send everything we've got. But you need to understand we don't have much time. Earth Command is trying to prepare, but it's chaos down here. We'll work with what we have," Jack said. "Just get us the support. We'll take it from there." Valara stepped beside him, her gaze still cold. "The humans are slow," she murmured. "Will they be ready when the Voidborn come?" "I don't know," Jack replied, trying not to sound defeated. "But we don't have any other choice." Face appeared again. "We're moving to intercept the Voidborn. We'll have more ships in the next 48 hours. Understood on your position." "Understood," Jack said. "We'll be ready." The communication ended. Jack leaned back in his seat, feeling the weight of the situation on his shoulders. He turned to Valara. "We have a chance, but it's not much." Valara looked at him with something close to understanding in her eyes. Humans have a strange way of making things happen when they are pushed. As they moved closer to the coordinates for the Star Lance, Jack and Valara prepared. Jack's connection with the Earth fleet would not be enough. It was clear that they had to act fast. The only way they could stand a chance was by working together, humans and vampires, in the coming days. Jack worked with Valara, trying to combine the best of both worlds. His human instincts, quick thinking, making tough calls in moments of stress, were something she seemed to admire. In turn, Valara's calm and power made Jack realize how much they needed her strength. Together, they began training. Valara taught Jack how to use the advanced energy weapons her race had once wielded. Her speed and grace in combat were a sight to behold. And Jack found himself learning quickly, but with some hesitation. His human instincts had gotten him this far, but now he had to learn to trust in other ways. "You are too slow," Valara said during one sparring session. "You move as if you fear the fight." "I don't fear it," Jack replied, his breath heavy. "But I can't be reckless either." "Recklessness has its place," Valara said with a slight smile. "You must be bold, fight with fire." Practiced for hours. Valara's methods were intense, but Jack felt himself growing stronger, faster, more prepared. As they moved toward the Star Lance's location, the energy between them was undeniable. They were becoming an unstoppable Team. A day before they reached the coordinates, Jack received another communication from Earth. Jack, Rios said, "We're in position. The Voidborn have arrived. They've taken out several defense outposts in the outer systems. We're moving in. We'll need you and Valara to lead the charge once we find them." Jack felt a surge of urgency. Happening, the Voidborn were here, Earth was counting on them. "We'll be there," Jack said, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. Valara stepped closer. "Are you ready?" Jack nodded. "I have to be." They prepared to face the coming storm. The Voidborn were here. Jack Marlowe stood at the command console of Valara's ship, his eyes scanning the screen. The space outside the ship was filled with the deep darkness of space, but in the distance, something was approaching. It wasn't just another ship. It was a swarm, massive and cold, like 1,000 shadows coming together. The Voidborn were more than just an enemy. They were a plague on the stars. No one had seen them in millennia, and now they were back. Jack could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on him, but he didn't have time to think about it. The Earth fleet was nearby, and they were counting on him, Jack, Valara said, her voice calm but filled with power. "We are not yet within range." "I know," Jack said. His voice was steady, but inside his heart was pounding. "But we don't have much time. The Voidborn will be here soon." Valara's eyes glowed a soft red. "We will fight, but remember, these creatures do not think like humans. They consume everything. They will not stop until all is destroyed." Jack turned to her, feeling the weight of her words. He had never faced anything like this before. The Voidborn were not just an enemy, they were a force of nature. And they were coming for everything. "We have the Star Lance," Jack said. "That weapon can stop them. We just need to find it." "We're close," Valara replied. "But we will need more than just the weapon. We will need to unite. The Voidborn will not be defeated by strength alone. They feed on fear, on division. They will try to break us apart." Jack felt a chill run down his spine. "How do we stop them then?" Valara's gaze was intense. "We fight together, humans and vampires. The strength of your spirit. Power of my race. Together, we are more than what they can face." Just then, a new alert sounded. The Earth fleet had arrived. Jack quickly patched into the communication channel. "Commander Rios," he said, "we're in position. Ash, the Voidborn, are close. You'll need to join us in the fight." "Understood." Rios's voice came through the speaker. "We've been waiting for this moment. We'll support you, Jack. But the Voidborn, they're unlike anything we've seen." "I know," Jack replied, "but we have something they don't. We have each other." The battle began in the cold silence of space. Valara's ship joined the Earth fleet in formation, ready to face the Voidborn. Jack stood beside Valara as the first signs of the enemy appeared, dark shapes moving slowly but steadily toward them. There were hundreds, maybe thousands of them. Their ships were not like anything Jack had ever seen. They were living, twisting. Shapes of shadow and metal, pulsing with energy like a swarm of insects. "They're here," Valara whispered. Jack clenched his fists. "Then let's show them what humans and vampires can do." The Earth's fleet fired first. Laser beams and plasma shots lit up the dark space, striking the Voidborn ships. But the enemy didn't flinch. They didn't slow down. The blasts passed through them like water through a net. They can't be hurt by normal weapons, Jack said, panic rising in his chest. Valara's red eyes glowed brighter. "I know how to fight them. But I need your strength, Jack. You are the spark they have never known." "What do you mean?" Jack asked. She reached out and touched his hand. "You are the bridge, Jack. You are the one who can light the fire. That will burn them. It is your spiritual humanity that they cannot stand." Jack felt a rush of energy. It wasn't something he understood, but it was there something deep inside him. Something stronger than fear. "You are more than human," Valara said. "You are the human flame. Let it rise." Jack closed his eyes for a moment, focusing on the feeling that had awoken in him. His heart began to race, not out of fear, but out of something else. Hope, strength, a fire that he had never known was inside him. Suddenly the ship shook. A massive void-born ship appeared before them, its form twisting and shifting like smoke. It was the largest Jack had ever seen, its surface covered in glowing lines of energy. "We need to strike now," Valara said, her voice firm. "Get ready." Jack didn't hesitate. He took a deep breath and activated the Star Lance. The weapon hummed to life, its power building. The void-born ship loomed larger, but Jack felt something new. The power of his emotions, the strength of his spirit, it all came together. He wasn't just a human. He was the spark, the fire that could light the galaxy. He aimed the Star Lance and fired. A beam of pure energy shot out, brighter than anything Jack had ever seen. It struck the void-born ship directly, and for a moment, the entire universe seemed to hold its breath. The ship cracked and shuddered, the energy from the Star Lance cutting through its defenses like a blade through paper. The void-born ship exploded into a burst of light and smoke, scattering into pieces. The Earth fleet cheered. Jack felt the heat of victory, but he knew this was only the beginning. The Voidborn were still coming. They were relentless, but they were not invincible. The fight continued, each battle more intense than the last. Jack and Valara fought together, their combined strength pushing back the Voidborn. The Earth fleet followed their lead, rallying behind them as the final battle raged. Jack's power grew. The more he fought, the stronger he became. He was no longer just a man. He was the flame that burned away the darkness. And when the last Voidborn ship was destroyed, the galaxy was finally free. The war was over. Jack stood on the bridge of Valara's ship, watching the stars once more. The battle had been won, but something had changed. The galaxy would never be the same. "You did it," Valara said softly, standing beside him. Jack turned to her and smiled. "We did it. Humans and vampires together." "You were the spark," she said. "Without you it would have been impossible." Jack looked out into the stars. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, but for the first time, he didn't feel alone. "I think we're just getting started," Jack said. And with that, the stars no longer seemed so distant.